My undergraduate study was at San Francisco State, where I also served in a troubled time as president of the student body. But my work there at an academic level was in the field of public administration, which is a subset of political science. And that's the field where you're trained to be a city manager or trained to be a planner. One of the ways it goes to planning, not the only path there. And one of the things you learn there is about what's called the fourth branch of government. We tend to think of our legislative branch, our judicial branch, and our executive branch. And in this country, we have not tended to recognize that there's a fourth branch, which is the administrative branch. And so we were taught terms like muddling through, which is what you do when you're not sure what to do, I suppose. What has happened in the last 20 years particularly, and certainly it's been a trend that's been present for 40 or more, has been the tendency of people who are civil service professionals, a growing class and a growingly endowed class, to step beyond their managerial role and start to take strong positions and effective positions on political issues. And this has become such a strong tendency that the managerial people have now eclipsed the role of the citizenry in most local governmental decisions of high consequence. The way that the HCD is handling housing is one example of that, but it's the way that expensive consultants are being employed is another example of that. The way that council persons cannot get anything onto an agenda. I asked a local council person to send me the routine that one had to go through to get something on the local agenda here in Novato, and it was like this big. You know, and you had to give a whole bunch of notice, like 2 months or something like that in advance. So there's a lot of barrier right now between citizen involvement. And then when citizens get involved, they tend to be characterized as emotional, when often they're quite analytical. So I think that what we need to do is to recapture government for the good of all, because what we have going on here is not sustainable.